The forest rose like a cage of blackened spears, yet even they could not restrain what stirred in the dark. The moon hung full and bright in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the dense forest. Daniel stood at the edge of the woods, heart racing, every instinct screaming at him to flee. He had always felt different, but tonight, something primal stirred within him. The legends whispered in his ear, tales of the cursed and the powerful. He inhaled the earthy scent of the damp soil as he watched the pines dance against the gleam of the moon. It started as a tingling sensation, creeping through his limbs like static electricity. He had heard the stories of transformation, of pain, but nothing prepared him for the reality of it. He clenched his fists, nails digging into his palms as the first wave of agony hit him. "Breathe," he muttered. But it felt like the air had been stolen from his lungs. He doubled over, gasping, the world around him blurring. The moonlight shimmered, casting shadows between the trees that danced like demonic marionettes. Panic surged as he realized he was not alone. Something dark was awakening inside him. His bones began to ache, cracking and shifting, the sound echoing through the stillness of the night. Daniel screamed, a primitive, guttural cry that echoed through the trees, the forest trembling in response. He fell to the ground, hands clawing at the earth, as his body twisted and contorted. The pain was unbearable, a tempest raging within, tearing him apart. "Stop, please," he shouted. But the voice in his head was drowned out by the beast clawing its way to the surface. He could feel it, an ancient hunger, an insatiable desire for freedom and power. The struggle was maddening, a war between man and monster. Daniel felt his skin stretching, tearing, as dark fur sprouted, enveloping him in a suffocating embrace. In the midst of his agony, a strange warmth blossomed within him. Power surged through his veins, intoxicating and wild. Each muscle twitched and rippled as the transformation took hold, and the ache began to morph into something more, a thrill, an exhilaration. He was no longer just a man, he was something ancient and fierce. He howled again, but this time the sound was different. It was a call to the night, an invitation to the hunt. The forest responded, its creatures stirring in answer. The instinct to run, to chase, surged within him, and for the first time, Daniel felt liberated from the chains of his humanity. As the final pieces fell into place, he rose to his full height, towering and powerful. He gazed down at his claws, sharp and glistening in the moonlight, and felt an overwhelming sense of dominance. The fear that had gripped him moments before faded, replaced by a primal satisfaction that coursed through him like wildfire. But lurking beneath the surface was a gnawing dread, the realization of what he had become. In the shadows of his mind, the remnants of Daniel struggled against the growing darkness. "What have I done?" he thought. But it was drowned out by the beast's feral joy. The hunger became unbearable. He could feel the pulse of life around him, the thrum of prey, the intoxicating scent of blood. The transformation had awakened something insatiable. The forest was alive with possibilities, and Daniel could no longer distinguish between what was right and what was the call of the wild. He took his first step, muscles coiling like a spring, and bounded into the darkness, the thrill of the hunt igniting his senses. Each leap felt like flying, the world blurring around him, exhilarating and terrifying. As he vanished into the shadows, he could almost hear the whispers of his humanity, pleading for remembrance. But with every heartbeat, the beast grew stronger, promising him power, freedom, and a life unshackled by the mundane. The last vestiges of Daniel began to fade, consumed by the intoxicating allure of what he had become. Deep within the forest, the moon watched, casting its silver light on the predator born anew, a creature torn between the thrill of power and the echoes of a man left behind, a slave to the freedom he created. If your hunger rages for more hair-raising horror, subscribe. The beast of stories to be told has only just begun to awaken.